Warm greetings, everyone. I am Anubhuti Shekhar, the City President for Devghar District, Jharkhand of Wiki Water Resource Council. I welcome you today in this session of Monday Munching and Musing with Women for Water. This session is conducted by Eco Development and Research Cell, a not-for-profit initiative of the Environmental Design Consultants, Ahmedabad, with support of Water Resource Council of the Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and in collaboration with W4W Foundation and media partner Counterview. I am joined today with Dr. Mansi Balbhargava, who is the National President of Wiki Water Resource Council. Welcome, Mansi. We are glad to start the conversation, namely Monday Munching and Musing with Women for Water, which we colloquially refer to as Blue Lips among us. The conversation is aimed to share the worries and the wisdom by the woman, for the woman, of the woman in the water sector. In here, we hope to learn about the water endeavours of the woman in a regular disciplined manner like a masterclass. Today, in this session, we are here to listen and know more about Trupti Jain. Trupti Jain is globally acclaimed gender expert with more than 30 years of hand-on experience from grassroots implementation to government policy framing cutting across various continents. In her 2-decade-long association in the sector through non-profit, government-promoted institution, and currently through social enterprise, she is successfully strengthening women participation in governance in India as well as Southeast Asia and Africa. Her social enterprise, Naireeta Services, is endeavoring to attend critical challenges within water management with a focus on climate change mitigation, disaster reduction, and better livelihood armed with global awards with World Bank, the UN, and much more. She is a recipient of series of global laurels. Some of them are Maiden Eco, Hero by US Embassy, Commonwealth, Fulbright, and LEAD. She is holding a master's in sustainable development after graduating in environmental engineering. She is having more than 16 published research papers and more than 30 educational literature in her credit. Thank you, Trupti ma'am, for joining us today. I would like to start the conversation by asking you about your journey in water sector. Particularly, we would like to know how did you start, how did you decide that you want to work in the water sector?
Hi, Anubhuti, and thanks, Mansi, for giving me these opportunities. Anubhuti is a very nice gesture for, introducing me. I also know many of the things for myself today. Anyway, so this is basically, I had worked long, as you know, that from the education wise only, I have started my journey to in the development sector, specifically the sustainable development. And that makes me, to work in the rural area extensively is when I was in early 20 or at the age of, I think. And at that time, I noticed that while traveling extensive to the rural areas, almost all the districts of the Gujarat state I have traveled and stayed in the rural villages. I have noticed that women played an important part in terms of the environment management. And simultaneously, the impact of the climate change and disasters, natural disasters, is worst on the women. She's the most vulnerable comparison to the children also, because we save the children first, but the women comes on the last on by her priority and by the society priorities. So that I have noticed well versed, but I didn't expect that I will work only for the water sector. It was happened in the 1 decade before, when my partner and this co-founder of this Naireeta Services Private Limited, Viplav, has innovated this Bungru technology, which helps the farmer to get rid from the flood and drought both the situations. And basically, he was working in the northern part of the Gujarat. The Gujarat is the India is located in the western part, and even in the western, the northern part of the Gujarat, which is almost India-Pakistan border, is a semi-desert area. And while he has innovated this technology and it has lots of demand from all over the India and also the globe, so we decided to open a social enterprise. And thus, I'm since last 1 decade, I mean dedicated myself to specifically for this water sector.
Right. Thank you so much, Trupti ma'am. Like you mentioned about the Ghungru initiative, like the technology, would you like to share what exactly your current engagements with the Ghungru technology is? How did you, like, what's the work that you're doing there?
Okay. The Bhungru word is the very, very local vernacular language word. Is a it means a big straw. So basically, the Bhungru is our rural women. Basically, the farmer women farmers, and this is the straw. So is basic structure is the cylindrical pipe, bigger cylindrical pipe. So this is Bhungri we call in Gujarati, and because it's a slightly bigger, the rural women are calling them the bungru. So, and we kept it as it is because this is we are calling them, this is their innovations, I mean, this is a women farmers innovation. So, bungru means a big straw, nothing like that. How it works? First, we know, then we can understand the uses of it and the impact of it. So, suppose this is the surface, earth. So what happens in the northern part of the Gujarat, Patan district, Kutch, because its land is affected with the desertification and the salinity. So upper layer is impermeable, I mean, almost 1 feet of the layer. So whatever the little rain they are getting in at the time of the monsoon, the land gets waterlogged for 1 month or 15 days period of time. You can see right now also in the Banaskantha, Palanpur, up to that area also. So although they have the plenty of water on their field, but they could not grow the crop. And because of the smaller land oil size, they have not accessible to the irrigation water. I mean, the borewell is the 1500 feet deep or 1800 feet deep. So it's not affordable for the smallholder farmers. So basically, their land piece is uncultivable and they are migrated to the urban area for the constructor worker labors, or maybe they are going on the rich farm area as a, and they are suffering from all the kind of bonded labor problems and something like that. So what we are doing, this is the surface. We are injecting this kind of the pipe into the soil stratas. And suppose we are finding out that 50 to 60 feet soil strata has a capacity to retain the water. We have perforated the pipe and then store the water into the soil stratas. Sometimes two strata, sometimes three stratas. It's not, I mean, it's very easily I'm explaining, but it has a lot of technological dimensions involved in it. So basically, in the monsoon season, the water will be filtered, inject, and stored into the soil aquifer, so that land gets water free in the monsoon season. So farmers can grow the crop. And in the summer and winter seasons, they are within the same pipe. They are inserting the small pipe, and they are injecting this water out, lifted this water out for the irrigation purpose. So zero crop to at least two crops now. So how it works, the bungalow?
Thank you so much, Trupti ma'am. I would like to hand it over to Mansi ma'am to continue with the conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anubhuti. Thanks a lot to initiate this conversation. And Trupti, so nice to see you here online. And also, I'm aware of your work, and Biplav does work for quite some time. Especially, we meet quite some often in this US Embassy or Fulbright meetings, and a kind of recognition your technology, or as you rightly mentioned, the farmers' innovation has achieved in India as well as all over the world. I mean, I do recall last year also you got some awards, both of you, for this work. Just to take the conversation further from the technology to your work experience in the field of water, I want to come a little bit closer to who Trupti is, because that's the whole idea to discuss here, because we want to discuss women who are in water. So our focus is on the life of the woman, and water becomes a backdrop or a common thread between us. So Trupti, I'm aware about your professional activities, but just to understand, how are you really taking these tasks and activities? And you rightly mentioned you both are doing the work together, but what kind of challenges you face in doing this kind of projects at grassroots? And also you are as much as an urban person, and you are doing a lot of work here as well. You have innovation lab also to work on. So how are you actually dealing with your urban life and your focus area on the rural area? How do you deal with this lifestyle? You're half of the time on the field, I suppose.
Yeah, it is quite challenging when I was my early 20s. As I mentioned, that I have to travel extensively to the rural area. And
Yes.
when I have educated Mansi from my this LD College of Engineering, Environmental Engineering, frankly speaking, I don't have any idea about the development sector. So, that is, what is the development, what is the rural area, how the women lives, their situations and conditions. I don't have any idea. But as a part of my the environmental research work, I went to the rural area. I stay with them. I stay in the villages of the houses of the farmers. Stay with the tabela. In the tabelas also, bears, guy, and other. So at that time, yeah, it was fascinating. At that time, it was at that time it was eye open for me also, because it's a lots of gender gap. The women are waking up early in the 5 in the morning, and then working till 10 o'clock in the night. And the basically the typical village picture is that males are sitting on the one chabutra or a choraya in Gujarati languages, and they were talking about the things. So at the time, the Panchayati Raj laws are also there, but most women, jo elected women, were the dummy candidates. In the Sarpanch meeting, when the Panchayat Bhavans, when I am conducting the meeting, the women are the Sarpanch is always coming just to serve the teas. The Sarpanch Pati is working. So that was, the brainstorming, and as well as the, eye-opening for the realistic situations, that how these women are living in these conditions. And then after I related with my urban area also. Like, for example, as per the Hindu laws, you and me know that right from the, nearly 50 years before, the women have the equal rights in the parents. But how many women have their exercise their power or their right? They are always sacrificing because our brother is there. They are always sacrificing because of mother, father, we don't like it. So how many households is on the name of the women? That was also the very questionable thing. So whatever the situation is there, the women condition is the same. And how to come out from that one, that is the real challenges, right from me to the women farmer to you, or maybe there's some other persons. And even in the global level, this is the problem, assets rights and other things, right? So when I got the chance to involve the women in the Bungru, the joint ownership. At that time, I decided to involve the women farmers into it. And that gives me the remarkable results. So it's not only pride for me, like as a woman, I had worked for the women. As a strategy builders, as a policy making, I worked for the government for 12 years, and then done a lots of work for the making a policy changes, which is very favorable to the women. So I'm very happy with myself right now that I have done something for the women.
No, absolutely. And we are all aware of it and proud of you, actually, the way you people operate, especially so well connected with the grassroots, But if I have to understand a little bit more about Trupti, I will just like to ask a very funny question to you. So if I want to know Trupti, is she half urban and half rural now? And how does she relate herself? Where do you like to live more? Because you are half of the time on the field.
Actually, the urban and rural difference is that because of the comfort you have, that's difference you are talking about right now on the urban area and the rural area differences. So I am as much as comfortable to talk with the rural women farmers, as well as I am equal comfortable to talk right now in the UN Water Conference 2023 in the
Yes,
March,
I
in the
assume you
month
are
of the
going
March.
now. You're
Yeah, in the
going.
month of March. So it's like I'm very happy to convert at the border side and trying to translate her gaps and challenges with these people, and their learnings and sharings also with these people. And also they have a very good knowledge that also I'm transferring to them, and their knowledge also I'm transferring to here. So for me, the women is a women, is not urban, rural, knowledgeable, educated, illiterate, non-educated. Because while working with the women farmers, I amazed with that knowledge of the agriculture sectors and other things. So I
Sure.
respect all the kind of the women, whether it's the urban construction labor works, or maybe the farmers, or maybe the UN women and something. So basically, is the you need to respect the knowledge of all the women. I mean, equally.
Absolutely, absolutely. So bringing back the conversation again to Tripti as an individual, because then I will go to the scale of talking about leadership, and you were talking about women sarpanch and proxy sarpanch, and that happens in the rural area. But just to understand, how is Tripti dealing with her in her own life, and a usual day for her when she is in city? What kind of day she has designed, and when she is on the field, what is her usual day looks like?
Okay. For my is we have the only one daughter, so family, so not too much responsibility of the children. So for me, the day is started with very enthusiastically. I'm basically invest on my health equally. Because I learned from the rural women that you are, and teach them that your health is equally important, because if you are good in situations, then you will be benefited to the family also. So that I'm exercising on myself. And then I never plan for my day, except that some schedules, meetings, and other things. But as and on when the work is coming up, we are taking it up, and then we are completing the day. And always we are satisfying with our some kind of the fruit. Added value in terms of the society every day we are doing. We are basically the focusing on networking and participating and influencing the people more on every day, so that beyond our lifespan, because you know that only the 5 million farmers in India waiting for this solution, and globally 260 billion hectares of the land affected with these situations with the Bungalow. So in my lifespan, it is we are not always able to complete this job. I mean, so we are influencing the people so that it continue on the way. So this is the kind of things. And when I was in field, basically, I feel much relaxed in the field because in the morning I have to be. We are working from the morning to noon because that is the best time for the women. We are going in the field with them. We are talking with them in the field only, and we come back. Then in the evening, we are spreading some time with them also, and with the men and with the family members. So in the morning, it is in the work area, and in the evening, we are in the social kind of things. So that's
Interesting. Interesting, because you do mention, you do give a stress on the whole idea of networking and spreading awareness about doing things, and also spreading the sisterhood idea where you handhold each other and you co-learn from each other. So bringing the main conversation here now onto the idea of women leadership in the water sector. And because this whole conversation is basically to celebrate life of people like you who have done so much in their lives, and then you are connected to many women in the field. Having said that, you are also aware, as well as I am aware, that we have really a challenging situation for women leadership in the water sector. So if we see the number of women vis-a-vis number of men in the leadership position or in the decision-making position, we find women are really very few in numbers, And I'm sure you are also coming across this kind of situation, as you were rightly mentioning, even if there are sarpanch who are women, but they are not showing up. But when we talk about professional women also, we find that globally it is 1 in 5 and India is even poorer than that. So what do you think, where are we, having a shortfall in getting more women in the leadership position? There are many women in water. It is undoubtedly the case. But what is stopping most of the women to get into the leadership position or decision-making position? Why most of the major water decisions are always taken by men in the society, particularly if we look at in our country, So what's your experience is about on this?
Yeah. I can say that why it is happening, why this is a patriarchal situations comes from, why it is sustainable. I'm not going in that detail, but because that is the something which is not in my control. But I can share with you, but I can share with you that how I overcome with the situations. Because
Yes,
being
please.
a part of the systems, as you rightly said, that I was also the victim of these systems. The first thing is that I myself is conducting believing that the male are the better decision makers and the women are not. Second thing is that I myself believe that women and technology will not go together. I mean, for example, I just would like to say that in environmental engineering, when I pass it out, and at the time of the campus interview, the only 3 companies have came for the campus interview for our, and in 20 seats, almost 14 seats are women, I mean girls, and 6 were filled by the boys. So this is the particular branch which is very female friendly, unlike the mechanical and other thing. But 3 companies have put the condition at the time that they will conduct the interview of only the 3 only the male members. So we 16 were never invited. We never know that this was the recruitment come. But just now, I mean, in the 25 years of our get together, we came to know with the boys that, that campus interview has happened, and we didn't know these ones. So this is the
not
situation.
Invited. You were not invited. You were not informed.
No, nobody bothers about informed us also. So not from the professor to other people, my colleagues, and so you understand the situation. So and what happens in the mechanical,
the
civil, and
people
other
already
branch.
said they will not recruit girls, and that's why you were not informed.
Yeah, we were not informed, and not informed by not obviously not for company, but not informed by the surrounding systems also. Not the professor, never they fought for us, not the our classmate, batchmates who was a boys, they never fought for us. So I mean, the whole systems was accepting that fact, and I mean, this after 25 years we came to know about this situation. So this is the situations while we are talking about the technology and the women leaderships, and so that is much more difficult. So what I did, I trusted the knowledge of the women, whether illiterate women, literate women, whatever, but they have the knowledge. You need to respect and trust them. If you are starting to respect and trust the other women's knowledge, automatically you will get back that respect and trust within you after a long period of time. Obviously from them or from others also. So that is my condition, and we respected their knowledge. And after a 6-7 years period of time, our innovation came into the picture. So you can understand that this is the miracle happens because of their patience and because of their knowledge only. So this is the situation, and they are not only the technological expert right now, they are scaling of our work and spreading the words. So if you are giving the chance, the women can do much better. Technology and women can go together. And third, you need to start from yourself. You need to respect and value the knowledge of the other women.
Absolutely. Very well put. And you were also mentioning initially when you were talking about your experience at the grassroots, that there are many women who are actually officially at the leadership position, but they are not taking up those leadership activities for whatever reason in their village or in their situations. Do you really recognize that situation among women, that women are also hesitant in taking those leadership positions? Do you come across that situation, especially in the rural sector,
So
also in
that's what.
the urban sector?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. We are our professor, who was the female professor, has accepted that female will never be interviewed in the things. So we are also the accepting that certain things we cannot do better. Similarly, happens in the leadership positions of the women, the sarpanch. How can I sign the? How can I say no to sign the check? I mean, how can I say no to the other people's? I mean, starting from the no, saying no, we are telling them this is the first step of the empowerment. And I know that the one women who become this elected as on a reservation sheet as a sarpanch, we told them that while the people come to you and then signing the check, you just say that it is for what purpose, why, and say no at least one time, and not to sign at least. It took, I mean, we built her capacity. It took 10 years, I mean, to become her a leader. And 10 years, I mean, the second to second election, she contested the election on a general seat. So,
Wow.
yeah,
So
so
it
it's
requires giving them confidence, huh? So they require basically some kind of support and confidence to really take a call by themselves. And actually, my next question comes to that kind of discussion with you only. What kind of skill sets we can really support women to, eventually they think, or they are really seen by the surrounding, that she is worth a leadership position or decision making position, she should be asked for it. What do you think, what kind of skill sets we must look for in a woman leader? Because I know reaching at the same position for a man is much easier than reaching the same position for a woman. For example, let's say a director, or for example, let's say project head. It takes longer route for women to reach there. So what kind of additional skill sets do you think women may require to expedite their process of leadership?
the first skill is that I told you exactly, trust on yourself. Have a
Yes.
belief on yourself that you can do. I mean, and your value, your knowledge is important. So trust yourself, respect yourself. Once you do that, the others will start to trust and respect. Second thing is that openness. I mean, you need not to feel bad if you don't know anything. You just say that I don't know these ones, and then please come
Very important.
and open to learn also. So many male members are also very, very, I mean, supportive in terms of
Absolutely.
helping you out, accessing the resources, helping you out. In my conditions, starting from my husband is very supportive. So the many male and experts have been played an important role and to reach me up to this level. So
Absolutely.
this is very, so but you have to be yourself to be open to accept your limitations and trying to find the solution by yourself and reaching out to the other people. And third most important thing was I was just forgotten is the family support or the peer group support or the federation support. In the Bungru, the women empowerment has been very, very successful. The women says that this is the innovation for dignity, because the 5 or 6 women jointly together, they are owning this Bungru. Right? तो एक group pressure, peer group pressure बन जाता है. 6 women are coming together. So obviously 6 women are meeting. They will not talk only the Bhungru, or they don't have any agenda while they are meeting. So they are discussing about the domestic violence. They are discussing about the other things. I mean, सो घर के मेल मेंबर को भी पता रहता है कि इसको जाएगा तो फिर वो मानसिक को भी जाएगा, वो अनुभूति भी वो भी जाएगा, तो वो भी बहुत अवेयर रहते हैं. सो ये पीयर ग्रुप प्रेशर्स, फेडरेशंस, they are also very play an important role.
I think you really nailed it, and this is also a good time for me to invite you to become our member at the Women Chamber of Commerce and Industries Water Resource Council, because you are among the leading water women in the country. So, and it's a good time that I really convince you to become part of our federation, because together we become stronger. That is definitely a case, and especially when we are professional women, it becomes all the more important, because what has been noticed when we talk about vulnerable women or grassroots women, there is still a focus on them, either from the government or many agencies and NGOs. But when we talk about professional women, those who are actually supporting many women at the grassroots or on the ground, they do not get much acknowledgement and appreciation, because they also require that from time to time to be able to continue doing what they are doing on the ground, And you also rightly mentioned that peer group and family also makes a difference, because in your case, this is also something very, very important, because you both are equal partners, and you have both done so well in the field of water, in innovation, in grassroots connection, I mean, and you are always seen together, and you sync so well as partners in the project, and speak the same kind of motivation. You have same kind of drive. Do you think that is also happening in most of the women cases, and how can we do that? Why I'm asking this is, do we really need something to be done also with the peer group of where men are also involved? What kind of additional things we can really do where men also becomes more accepting women leaders, or more accommodating to the women leaders? Because you have an exceptional case, so which is, we are very proud of you.
No, you, Anubhuti, I mean, everyone is a leaders in that field area. So it's not like that we are the only persons, but I tried what I get it, I try to translate it and reaching it to the 1,000 women farmers.
Yes,
So,
yes, absolutely.
So that's what I want to done it. So while I was talking with the rural women area, and while I was always in the field, I always spend the time with the male group of the male folks also, because every male is not designed to oppose the women only, right?
Absolutely.
But our
And in fact,
system,
they are supporting. When they see women are quite
Exa-
active and all, they're supporting.
exactly, and in my case, if I get it, so that they can also get it. Some male, because of the tradition and systems are there, but the interactions, communications are always helping. So always, we need to sensitize the male folk of the family and the village and the community and the society, and मैं तो कह रही हूँ कि अब वो हमारे लाइफ काल में खत्म नहीं होने वाला है. We need to do
We
repeatedly
have to
on and
continue
on and on
doing.
and
We have to continue
continuously.
doing. And that's why we are trying to gather from professionals and experts like you, that what more can be done, because now the Water Resource Council is really trying to reach out to as many women professionals like you, so that we can really expand further what you have already expanded, because then we have a network of women from all over the country, and that can be also presented at a higher order, and so people like you, Nafisa Bain, Ghazala, you have been already doing so much of work. So each of you already represent more thousands of women, so that becomes kind of for us, a channel to reach more women through you people. Just to understand a little bit more with your current activities and engagements, where do you think that we can expand it further? Let's say we join hands with other networks, and like we have Jal Saheli, and now I'm talking about Water Resource Council. There are other women networks across the country. Do you see that, because you were mentioning about federation, that it will be a good idea that we come together and we make a larger network? Because whatever said and done, Trupti, even today, when we are talking, both of us, at the decision-making level, at the policy level, at the ministerial level, not everyone is going to become politician. We still lack women leaders, So what can we do as What can we leaders do for increasing the leadership? That's my point. At
So
grassroots,
first,
we can be working. At grassroots, we can strengthen more women and elevate all of them. But then we have many leaders who really need that little push to even reach higher, where they can just impact and change things.
yeah, we should have a leaders network also.
That's what we are
Always.
trying to do actually through
Yeah.
Wiki Water
Yeah, yeah.
Resource Council.
Yeah, so you are doing a fantastic job about the water resource councils and putting all the leaders together. And I think every leader has a different journey, you know. I mean,
Yes,
the
absolutely.
Nafisha Ben is become the Nafisha Ben because of the lots many variables. Trupti
Yes,
Jain cannot become the Nafisha Ben. Trupti Jain
of
has
course.
also so similarly vice versa.
Yes,
And as per my experience, the women learns from the women who's similar to them. You know, I
yes,
mean, if one researcher wants to become a leader or something, so they will not able to grasp my experience, but they will see the
absolutely.
Mansi's experience. You know how the Mansi's has been grown, and because they find it's relevant for her
The
also.
resonance, yes.
It is on a yeah. So instead of
Synergy.
synergy and the challenges and the common challenges basically. So
Yes,
if she finds the common challenges with you, then they will relate with each other. So similar to the other areas. So you have the lots of leaders. So lots of leaders need not to be learned from each others. But I think the where you want to scale it up in your the
yes,
water resource council and put the right case studies in front of them and thus you can grow the network like this way. And also the male folk also, not only the women. The
absolutely. We are now thinking, to even in
uh,
the Water Resource Council, women leaders, we really need some male who understands this, that as
exactly,
important.
exactly. Yeah, the in 2018 I got the Gender Just Climate Solution Award.
Yes,
At the you know that yeah the COP conference.
yes,
So we have the two male who is a very gender sensitive and who won the Gender Justice Climate Solution Award also. So the male who are working on this, if they are also getting this kind of recognition, so male community will also join with us and we could benefit it out of them. So I think it is a time to involve them more and more rather than exclude them because we are reaching up to the one stage. Uh,
yes.
uh,
Very well put, Very well put. That we must include them, because when we are talking about leadership position, it is important because we're talking about their accommodation, also their acceptance for women leader. And then it becomes important that we have men peer group members who believe that women leaders can perform and they are required in the leadership position. So that's very important. And you really raised very good point that the leadership network, which we are trying to bring together all of you and see how leadership network can be lobbied, because each of Trupti already means thousands of women, and that's where the focus is on the leaders, because you people are doing your own work at the grassroots, but then if we can do some facilitation at the leadership level or some lobbying for that matter, so that some important positions, some important decisions can be influenced, you know so, I mean, if we have to really expand the Water Resource Council and bring all the women leaders and all, we are already planning regional workshops for women with women leaders, so that we come to know each other, we come to know each other's area of expertise, so that we can offer support to different regional workshops and all. What else do you think as leaders network we should be doing, to increase the, so if we are at certain position, we would like to, have some of the leaders eventually turning as, why not political leaders? Why not bureaucrats? Why not, reaching a position where they have the final say? What should we do as leaders network?
yeah, we are the very influencer peoples and the leaders
Yes,
have a very good responsibilities also, right? I
yes,
mean,
yeah,
so I mean, apart from the federations and networking and influencing the other peoples, I think we could play an important role in the policy changing in the policy making also.
Yes.
Because we know what we are from the grassroots and we have some experience, so we know what is the right kind of the policies with there. While the government need the support, because I had worked 12 years with the equivalent to the IS office. So government also need somebody who can guide them. They are not, declining always that they are false policy making always because of they want to do, but they don't know what to do. That's why they are doing this kind of things. So as a leaders network, we can influence the government. We can become the part of the government ecoms and something. But I can't. Frankly speaking, exactly what kind of activities we need to do, I'm not able to conceive right now as a leaders network, because meeting that is okay, yeah, that is one level, up to one level is okay, but we need to concretize some projects. And
Absolutely.
which should have the very good impact. So right now, frankly speaking, I can't
No issues, no
visualize this
issues.
one, but I will work on it, and then I will, if as soon as I will come up with some kind of the things which we can jointly together we can do something, so we will share with you.
Definitely. Like you very well mentioned that this leaders network is important, but then all of you are already working on the ground, so that is taken care by each leader. So they have their own regional area, they have their own expertise area where they are working. Now, when we come together with different field of expertise, we come from different regions, we also have to see how we can brainstorm between each other and really take that one push up. And that will definitely require the support of similar thinking male members also, as rightly put by you. And I think that's a very good note where women, when they work at a leadership level, they are not only focused on their work itself, their subject area. You were mentioning about how village women come together. They talk about many other aspects than Bhungru also. So it also solves a lot of other related aspects. Similarly, if all the leaders can come together and they can start talking about how to take that one little push to reach the decision making, I'm sure many male friends and members who believe in this woman leadership, they can also support and guide us how we can take it further, But at this point, I think we need more guidance from you to really tell what youth should be doing. So I will hand it over to Anubhuti to ask the last question, and that completes my part of conversation with you. Thank you so much, Trupti.